The graph shows how the value of a car depreciates each year. See the value of the car going down. Here's the years on the bottom: first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year. So the graph helps to find the trade-in value of the car for each of 5 years. The percents given in the graph are based on the selling price of a new car. So in other words, at year 0, time 0, when you first buy the car, it's worth 100% of its value. And then the first year it drops right there by the end of year 1. End of year 1, it's dropped to, what is that, about 70% of its value right there. After 2 years, it's dropped below 60%, maybe 55. After 3 years, it's here at 40% of its value, etc. So it drops a lot at first, and then it mellows out after that, but always going down in value. So let's answer the questions. First question, what is the approximate trade-in value of a $12,000 car after 1 year? So after 1 year. So after 1 year, it's right here. It's going to be, what is that, 70%? So each of those lines must be 5%, right? Because this is 60. Whoops, didn't do that so well. 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. So each must be 5. So that's 70%. So after 1 year, it's 70% of its value. So after 1 year, it's 70% of its original value. It's lost 30% of its value. It's 70% of its original. So how do you figure that out? Well, you got to change that to a decimal. 0.70 of is always times. The original they're saying was 12,000. So if you multiply that on your calculator, I'm getting $8,400. So the car must have dropped from 12,000 down to 8,400, 70% of its value, after 1 year. Next question: how much has a $25,000 car? So what if it cost $25,000 originally? How much is it depreciated after 4 years? So at 4 years, it's right here. And that looks like 35%. So after 4 years, whoops, try to do a little better job on that. It's at 35% of its value after 4 years. So it's 35% of its original value, and they're saying this is a different car, was $25,000, a very expensive car, of its times. $25,000 is the original value. So 0.35 times 25, 1, 2, 3. I'm getting $8,750. But that's what it's worth now. This is worth, well, not now, but worth after, after 4 years. And they asked, how much has it depreciated? Like, how much has it gone down? So then I would need to take 25,000, the original value, minus 8,750, subtract that, and I'm getting $16,250. So it's lost $16,250 of its value. That's how much it's depreciated, gone down in value. That's a lot in 4 years. Part C. What is the approximate trade-in value, knows what it's worth, of a $20,000 car after 3 years? So at 3 years, we're right here, 40%. So at 3 years, we're at 40%. So let me get this out of the way. So this is going to be 40% of the original value, $20,000 for this car. Oops. So that's times, that's 0.40 times 20,000. I'm getting 8,000. So after 3 years, that $20,000 car is only worth $8,000. It's dropped a lot after 3 years. Finally, part D is asking us, Danny wants to trade in her car before it loses half its value. When should she do this? So when will it lose? Danny should trade in her car after how many years? Half the value. So when do we drop below? So it's dropping. When does it drop below 50%? Where's 50%? So 50% is right this line, isn't it? That's the half. And where's that hit? Right there between 2 and 3 years. So it crosses that line. So she should trade in the car after 2 years. Right after 2 years. That way, before it loses half. So if she does it right after 2 years, right here, it'll still be above half its value. But if she waits till 3 years, it'll be below 50%. It'll be down to 40% of its value. So there we go.